Hello everyone, welcome to the day 8 of Frontend Mentor Challenges. And today we are going to create a free and newbie challenge, maybe this on 4 card feature section. I have already downloaded it, but let's visit the challenge hub and download it again. So if you click the download starter file, you will get a zip file. So this is the zip file. We can open this up by WinRAR. You can also open this up by the 7-zip or any other softwares like that. Let's extract this in the desktop here. So we can open up the design. Let's open this up. So this is what it looks like for the desktop. This is the desktop preview and this is the mobile preview. Okay, fine. So what I'm going to do is I will open this inter folder with the Visual Studio Code. I will just zoom in to make the text bigger so that you can see it. So this is the index.html. I will remove any unwanted text or anything. We don't need these styles. Okay. Also the footer, let's remove that. So this is our text and this is the design we want to create. Okay, so let's create the markup first. So what I'm going to do is I will create maybe a container which will contain this entire thing. Then inside this container we can put this in a header tag, and we need to, I think we can use both grid and flexbox to align them like this. So let's use both, and by that way you will have better understanding about both of this. So let's get started. I will just create a container div first. Inside the container, let's create a header tag. In the header tag, I don't know which one of this is the main title, so let's use the h2 first and then maybe an h3. So in the h2 I will paste the first text, and in the h3 let's put this text. Okay, fine. Now we need to add this. So this is just a simple paragraph. We can use a paragraph tag and put the text in here. So this is the header. Now let's create a section. I will give it a class of main. So this will contain all the box. So let's create a div with the class of box and also the class of box on, because we need to give them different border top colors. So that's why I am going to give this 4 separate class name. So in the box for the text here, we can put this text in a div and this image will be added separately. So let's create a div with the class of box text. Inside the box text, let's use an h5 tag, then and paragraph tag. So we need to replace the text. Actually this is empty, we just need to put the text. This is the paragraph text. Now we need to add the image here. The images are in the images folder. Then this is the first one. So this is the supervisor, this one. So what I'm going to do is I will just copy this, but before that we need to put these two inside an separate div here, because we are going to use the grid. So this one will be the first on item of the grid, this is the second on, and this is the third one. So let's create a div here. Let's give this a class name of maybe box container. Inside this I will just copy this and paste it here. Okay, so we need to change the box 2 because this is the second box. We also need to change the text. Let's do that. Team builder, and this is the paragraph text. We also need to change the image here. So this is the on icon team builder. I will create another copy of this box and it will be the box 3. Again we need to change the text and image. This is the karma. Let's get that and paste it. Okay, now we need to change the image also. This is the on. We need another on which will be the box 4, and this on should be outside the box container but inside the main. So I'll just paste it here and make it box 4. Let's change the text, calculator, and this one as well. Okay, now the markup is totally done. Let's open this up by the live server extension, and this is what it looks like. Okay, fine. Now let's go to the styleguide.md. You can get the everything like colors and font. So we need the Poppins 200, 400 and 600 font weight. Let's open this up. 200, okay, the extra light on. 400, and 600. Okay, we got all of this, so we can just import this. Let's create a css file, style.css, and I will import this here. After that, let's reset the default margin and padding of the browser. So margin 0, padding 0. Now let's target the body here, and we want to apply the font family with the body. So we can grab this and paste it here. Okay, and we also got a font size which will be 15 pixels for the body. So let's make the font size to 15 pixels. Okay, now what to do? This got this background color. This is kind of grayish, and the box has a background color of white. So let's target the body here and give this the background color, and I think they have already provided us the background color, very light gray. This is the on. Let's copy this and paste it here. But for the paragraph text here, this is kind of grayish color, so we can apply that as well. So this is the grayish blue. Let's copy this and give it as a color. Okay, now let's move on to the container div. So I want to give this container div a maximum height, and also I want to make this center. So let's target it container, and the container will have a maximum height. You can give whatever you want. I will fix it to 1200 pixels. Then let's give it a margin of 0 auto to make it center. Let's also add some padding, because otherwise whenever the display size will be smaller than 1200 pixels, it will take the entire height and it won't look very great. So let's actually I forgot to link this up, that's why we cannot see anything. So let's link up the css file style.css. Now we can see the effect. So we got this gap because it got only 1200 pixels of maximum height, but for a smaller size display it doesn't have any gap at top or at the left, but we actually need that. That's why I will add a padding here. So for top and bottom, let's say 50 pixels, but from left to right 30 pixels will do. Now it got this nice gap. Okay, now after completing the container, let's target the header, and we are going to make it look like this one. So the text are at the center aligned. In here they are by default at the left aligned, so I want to make the text align to center. Here save, and they are center. But as you can see here, for desktop size it doesn't take the entire line here, like this is taking the entire line in a single line. So what I can do is we can give this a maximum height to wrap this up. So let's do that. Let's target the header paragraph tag and give this a maximum height of maybe 600 pixels. I'll just make it smaller so you can see it. Okay, now it is okay. I don't think it is totally applied. Sorry, this is just a header, not a class. So let's save. Now it got this maximum height, but this is not center. So whenever you apply a maximum height, you need to apply the margin 0 auto to make it center. Now it should be center like this. Now let's target the h2 tag and the h3 tag, and as the design suggests, the h2 tag, the top text here, it kind of lightweight, so we have imported the 200 font weight, so we can use it here, and the 600 font weight will be used in here. Okay, now let's target the header and h2. So let's make the font size like 34 pixels. It is bigger, so we are going to give them the same font size because they are kind of the same, but the second one is bolder. Let's make it font weight and 200. Fine. We also need to give them the color. I think this very dark blue is the color, so just copy this and paste it as a color here. I will just again copy this and apply some same stylings with the h3, but in this case it will have the 600 font weight. Now it looks similar. Okay, now the things are done, but I think we need to apply some gap between these two. So let's target the header P and give this a margin top of like 20 pixels. Now it got some nice gap. Okay, now let's move on to the main section here. This is our main section. So I'm going to target the main and give this a display. Sorry, display will be grid, not inline. So let's target the display, grid template columns. So we need 3 columns here, right? You can either use the 33%, 33%, 33% to make it something like 100%, or you can use fractions like on fraction, and on fraction. So we got 3 columns here which will contain the similar amount of space. Now they are taking similar spaces. Let's add some gap between this, otherwise they are very congested. So I will add a gap of like 25 pixels. Now we have some gap. Let's also add some margin top to create some gap with this header. So margin top maybe 60 pixels. Fine. Now let's target the box here. The box got some nice padding all around it, and also the background color, height, and also a little bit of box shadow. So let's target it, box, and Background color will be totally white. Let's add a border radius like 7 pixels. It will be a small border radius. Now let's also add a padding. So I'll add a padding of 30 pixels. Maybe we can make it a smaller for a small size display, but 30 pixels look similar to this design. Okay, we are going to apply the box shadow later, but for now let's target the box text. Let's make the text align to the left. We actually need the text align left because we are going to make it text align right for the entire box. So what I'm going to do is we need to align this image at the right side, right? So let's comment this out for now, and we can make it text align to the right. Now all of this will be at the right, but we don't want it for the text, so we are going to make it text align left. Okay, now let's add the border top. We can do that separately by targeting each of the box here. So box on, let's add a border at the top. Okay, I will give them a border top of 4 pixels. This is solid border, and we can get the colors. The first one is cyan, the second one is red, the third one is orange, and fourth one is, I don't know, green maybe. Okay, that is blue. Okay, the first one is cyan. Let's grab this and paste it here. Okay, this is applied. So what I'm going to do is I will create some, copy it, and then replace the class name and also the color. The second one is the red one. This is the red. The third one is the orange. And the last one is the blue. Let's save. I think everything should be fine. Okay, the color matches. Now after applying the border, let's figure out the box text here. So box text, and we got the title in a h5 tag. So I'll target that. Let's make the font size bigger, like 20 pixels, and the color should be the title color. Very dark blue. Let's copy and paste it here. Now the color is similar. Let's also add a margin bottom to create some gap between this paragraph text, 10 pixels maybe. It looks fine. Okay, what else do we need? We need to figure out these things because this doesn't look like this. So let's target the box container here. Maybe somewhere. Okay, let's do it here. Box container, and we want to make it display flex. Now by default the flex direction is the row, so we want to make it flex direction will be column. It will solve the issue. We also want to add some gap between this. This will be the similar as we have added the gap between the grid columns. So that will be 25 pixels. Okay, 25 pixels. So we can apply the same thing in here too. So gap 25 pixels. Let's save. Now we got the similar gap. By default the align items will be stretched, so that's why it is taking the entire void, but we actually don't want it. So we can target the box on and box 4 to make it center. So let's do that. Box on and the box 4, and let's make the align self, it will be center. So if you don't understand this property and everything about the flexbox, I have a video about that in the YouTube channel, so you can go there and check this out. This is just only 13 minutes. In 13 minutes I will give you an overview of every actually not every, most of the important properties about the flex and their values, so you will get a pretty good idea about that. So now this looks similar with this one, but I think we need to add some gap between the image and the text. So let's add a margin bottom with the box text. Let's add a margin at the bottom, or you can add padding bottom, it doesn't matter. So maybe padding bottom 30 pixels. I think it should be more than that. Let's try 50. Now it looks good. So let's see for the smaller size display, and it looks absolutely very bad. There is some issue with the developer tool, so I'll open this up by Chrome, not the Git node. Okay, now inspect this. Okay, now it's fine. Before it was there was a vertical scroll bar, so the live server extension causes some problems now and then. Okay, so it does look good for 1440 pixels, but for smaller than this it actually doesn't look bad. Okay, from 768 pixels it kind of look congested, and we actually don't want that. So what we can do is we can break down the columns or the rows to single ones. So I'll just add an media query for 768 pixels. Let's do that. Media only screen and maxoid of 768 pixels. Let's target the main and make the grid template columns to only on fraction. I think it will solve everything. Oh sorry, we are not at the live server extension, so we need to reload this. So now it has been broken down into separate lines. Now again we need to figure this out with this viewport. So this is what it looks like at the 7, I don't know, let's make sure. So this is 735 pixels, and this is what it looks like in the 735 pixels. 735, right? Sorry, I was telling it wrong. 375, so this is the height. Okay, now let's see it. And we are going to make it look like this one. So again we need to apply another media query here, and in this case I will just target the 425. Now we don't need any main tag, so let's target the body first. I will make the font size a little bit smaller. By default it was 15 in before, but now I want to make it 13. So okay, after that let's target the header and h2. We cannot see it live, so I'll just apply this and then reload this again. So header, I will just reduce the font size a little bit, like 20 pixels for header h3. This is the header h2. So we want to also reduce this one to look like this one. Just copy this, and this will be the header h3. Now let's target the box and reduce the padding a little bit. So this is too much in compared to this one. So box, let's make the padding 20 pixels, and for the box text we'll reduce the padding bottom a little bit. Box text, let's make the padding bottom to 30 pixels. Now we can reload this. Okay, I think it looks much similar to this one, although we can increase the font size for the header a little bit, like 22 will be fine. Okay, it looks better. So this is our design, and we made it look similar with the actual design they have provided us with. So I hope you like this project, and if you want to see this, I will upload this in the Codepen. You will find the link in the description below. So thank you very much for watching, and tomorrow we are going to complete another challenge. So see you there. Until then, take care and goodbye.